Hey guys, so let's talk about this topic here. I knew it was going to come up sooner or later that somebody was not going to be interested in the new design. So of course, I put out a poll asking whether you'd pick the old design versus the new design and whether the interior or the exterior is your number one priority. If you only had one choice and one change to the upcoming Project Highland vehicle, what would that be? Would it be an updated interior? Or would you want all the changes to the styling on the outside? So I did give it a few days to make it as fair as possible, and there was a clear winner, and I totally understand why you guys might have picked this choice. So the number one choice here was the interior, and the variance was so high that it seemed like none of you guys were actually interested in the exterior changes at all. And I made a specific video on this topic as well, so if you guys had missed that, I'll drop it in the description below and a link right up top there. Click that and you guys will see what the interior is all about and why it's such an important task for Tesla to update this to make sure that it stays competitive to all the lineups out there, especially in China. Now, in terms of interior design elements, I still think it's on a league of its own. It's still much better than the competitors out there that we have right now in the States. If you guys compare it to the Ford Lightning F-150, the Ioniq 6, Ioniq 5, and even European competitors which are known for quality like the ID.5, we're still way above there with the quality and material and everything that the Model 3s have to offer. Now, I recently got to sit in a friend's Lexus RX 350 and I noticed a couple things that I liked and disliked in this newer vehicle. I know it's not on the same segment, but I really just wanted to put a perspective out there just so you guys can understand the quality segment as well as what we have with Tesla. I noticed that even with the 2023 model, it's still very cluttered with buttons and knobs, and definitely there are a lot of weird things going on in the interior, like a CD player in 2023. I have no idea why that would be the case, but if you guys can disregard everything in the center stack, there is so much premium quality in this vehicle. It's very beautiful and premium, but as soon as I stepped inside, it felt as if I was jumping in a 2000s vehicle. Whereas with a Tesla, even up to this date, the current Teslas, as soon as you sit inside it, it feels like you're in a futuristic car and there's just one display that you have to focus on and everything else is just made for you to drive. There is no other competitor to Tesla right now that's available in North America, so you guys don't have to worry about picking up a Tesla and jumping inside and you feel like it's a 6-year-old car. It still feels just as good, just as new, and just as futuristic as when you would pick it up 6 years ago, which is extremely impressive in my personal opinion. However, on the flip side here, in the realms of Tesla lineup, we are stepping into a 6-year-old design for the Model 3s and Model Ys. So we're kind of falling behind in terms of luxurious features and feeling of the overall materials. If we simply just compare it to the Model S, we're missing a larger display, we're missing ventilated seats, we're missing Steam games, we're missing an instrument cluster, and the list goes on and on. But the topic of this video isn't to talk about the interior changes. That video has been already posted, and like I said, I have it in the description below. Go check that video out. It talks about all the premium plus features that I expect and I do see coming in the Model 3 Project Highlands to stay competitive with Chinese vehicles like NIO, XPeng, and BYD. This video here is going to be talking about why people dislike the exterior design changes of what we've seen in the leaks so far. So on the topic of the exterior, which is extremely debatable, I do have my own opinions on it, but I'm sure there are a lot of you guys that do have your own and you guys might not agree completely. So the first thing is Tesla exteriors have become extremely iconic, especially the Model 3s and Model Ys. You can see it from a mile away and essentially know it's a Model 3 without seeing the badge, without seeing any other aspects that would tell you it's a Tesla. And this is why a lot of people are hesitant about the new design and why changing it is no longer gonna make it stand out, no longer gonna make it recognizable. But when it comes down to personal preference, really, I personally do like it a lot. I like new aggressive design. I like it to stand out in a way that a lot of performance cars stand out. So I do think the younger generations is gonna like this change overall, whereas the older generations do like a more subtle design. A lot of people have brought up to me saying that this looks like a Honda Accord or an S2000, and now that I think of it, it really does. It looks just like the headlights of an Accord or an S2000, more so the S2K. But honestly, that's not a bad thing. I do really like the design of the S2K just because it was a sport sport car to begin with. Now, for someone who wants a more subtle design, I'm sure they'll opt for the older design just because it already looks good the way it does, and the brand recognizability is one of those selling points that a lot of people really like about Teslas. They want to be known that they have a Tesla and want to be known without seeing the badge. Now, on the topic of the badge, Tesla is deciding that they're going to be removing it from future vehicles just because Tesla is already recognizable to the point where most people don't really care if they see the logo or the badge anymore. I'm almost completely sure that Tesla is doing this for cost-saving reasons, but regardless, I do understand why they're doing it. The only real problem I have with this is the fact that they're doing it during a full refresh cycle, and that means that the vehicle is no longer recognizable. In my opinion, if they were to remove the badges, they should have done it a while ago, or they should do it a year or two from now when the new Model 3s and Model Ys are already rolling on the roads. Anyways, just on another note here, I told my mom to pick between the two on the polls. I said to pick between the old Model 3 and the new Model 3. In the end, she picked the old one, calling it the new, so it gives you guys an idea of what the older generations feel. It still looks very good up to this point, and regardless if you're gonna pick up a Tesla right now or one down the line, you're still gonna have a car that looks extremely futuristic. I think the one thing that really sets the old one and the new one apart is the new headlights. I think it's a lot more smaller now, and whereas the old one looks a little bit more frog-like, should I say, but that's probably the real reason why a lot of us are interested in the newer one. We don't know about the back end of it yet. I do have a couple mock-ups that I can show on the screen right here. It looks pretty nice. It looks more Porsche-esque, but if it does eventually come out with this design, let me know in the comments below if you guys like it or not, if you guys do prefer the old rear taillights or this new longer one. The whole resemblance to the Roadster is very correct here. I think they're bringing that design to the Model 3 Project Highlands, and I do think they're going to differentiate between the Model 3s and Model Ys a little bit more for future vehicles. So anyways guys, I appreciate all of you for commenting and voting on the polls and all of my videos. I do read through all of them, so make sure you guys drop me a comment below. It can be anything really, and I'll try my best to respond to it. Also, if you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. It really helps me out as well as the channel, so I really do want to say thank you. As well, if you guys haven't already followed me on Twitter, follow me there at HeyJohnE. I'll discuss with you guys anything there. It's just a free-for-all, so hit me up there. This is it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is John once again. Peace out.